And amidst all the chaos and cover-ups in the RG car case, shocking details have emerged in the matter. As per sources, the CBI is now looking at a pornography racket involving the main accused, Sanjay Roy. As per the sources, Sanjay Roy used to go inside the mortuary of the RG car hospital at night and have intercourse with the dead bodies. The CBI has recovered some of the videos from the mobile phone of Sanjay Roy. In these videos, he can be seen having intercourse with dead bodies. Now, CBI has been doubting two things: whether Sanjay Roy is suffering from necrophilia, which is a mental disorder, or has he been involved in a pornography racket. And will the CBI be able to prove this link in Arjikar incident is something that we are going to discuss. Let's start this conversation with us. Joining me on the telecast is Dr. Harish Shetty. He's a mental health expert. Dr. Shetty, shocking, gruesome, these pieces of information and reports that are pouring in, particularly this act of bestiality that I don't know, cannot be fathomed. If you could explain to us, how does the psyche of a man such as Sanjay Roy work with the kind of reports with regards to him having intercourse with corpses, going to Arjikar hospital at night to perform these derogatory, disgusting acts? Is this the rarest of the rare cases where criminals stoop to the level as this individual?
I will not comment on any media reports. I will not comment on CBI's leaking of some reports. I would say I do not know what he did or what he has not done, or are there others also who are involved in all this. But what is important for us to understand, that there are people who have sexual perversions, they may have psychopathic traits, and they may be indulging in such behaviors. But whether this man has done that, I do not know, because I don't think the CBI should leak reports. I don't think the media should go on conjectures. They should wait for the ultimate report of the CBI. We are not sure whether he was alone, we are not sure whether there was somebody else. It's so murky, and the state is so dangerous. And there have been murkier things happening. I think Supreme Court and should direct the state government to come out with a report very fast. CBI has not yet come out with Sushant Singh's report even now. It's a long, long time. So we need reports. I would not comment on
whatever I want to understand from you, since you are the mental health expert, what exactly the psyche of an individual, a criminal who indulges in such sexually perverse acts, and is there a mental disorder that they suffer from, and how are they conditioned since childhood to be acting out on their instincts, on their desires such as these?
Not give any benefit of doubt to anybody. Different people have different responses with respect to sexuality. There are people with borderline personality, antisocial personality, and having gross psychopathic traits to be indulging in these acts. I would not give them a diagnosis, because it will not actually help them to be protected by the law. The point is, such people exist, which is very important for us to understand. And if the CBI has a psychiatrist along them with the panel and has a good clinical psychologist, they should sit down and check what it is. But the stray reports, I would not want to comment, and such people do exist. We do not know whether this man has these characteristics or he is a scapegoat. We do not know, but there are such people who exist, and people have had sex with corpses, with animals, etc., etc. And these are rare anomalies which people have, but a large number of them have psychopathic traits and have borderline personalities.
Okay. All right. Let's also try to delve deeper into the subject. Dr. Sneha Sharma, she's a psychiatrist who's joining me on the telecast. Dr. Sharma, how do we deal with criminals such as these?
So we have to understand, like Dr. Harish was saying, that we have to understand that these people lie on the extreme of human behavior spectrum. So while things like sexual assault and sexual violence are very common in the society and often underreported, I feel that these definitely even these extreme cases are underreported and not as much taken into account or come to light. But definitely these lies on the extreme of human behavior spectrum and need to be seen as a pathology. So how we deal with the pathology is definitely by doing a full assessment. Here we are sitting over discussing on a topic where we have limited information over the matter. Like for a severe, for a case like this, a proper assessment needs to be done where a psychological and psychiatric assessment really would be helpful before we jump to conclusions about who or what type of individual would indulge in these sort of behaviors. Definitely they fall into antisocial, psychopathic tendencies, and definitely there are proper ways in which these behaviors need to be viewed and addressed, which fall within the legal spectrum. As a case of psychiatry, viewing it as a disorder, definitely that exists, but certain disorders also will fall under like illegal in the preview of law. So that's how these needs to be addressed.
Okay. Dr. Asim Maiti from RGCar Hospital also on the telecast with me. Dr. Maiti, I don't know what transpired inside the premises of RGCar College and Hospital. There are a number of these murky details that are now coming out. The skeleton is out of the closet. Every single day we are finding out that there have been attempts to cover up this entire case. There have been police who've been trying to bribe the parents. But this takes the cake. The fact that there could be, an act that as perverse as this, that was possibly taking place within the premises, and this individual was a regular, and he was allowed to get into the hospital premises as he willed, whenever he desired. There were no checks and balances in place. The fact that he would walk into the hospital in the middle of the night and go into the mortuary and commit these heinous crimes. What does this say about the security and safety provisions that the RGCar Hospital provides, or the lack thereof?
Actually, I'm just telling in brief that if you can remember, on the first day of the incident, on the 9th of August, whenever that brutal murder and rape, that doctors actually Abhaya were gang raped or sometimes raped followed by murder, and it was discovered, and initial impressions were not only the initial impressions, the final verdict from the police commissioners and the West Bengal police and the hospital administration, that it was done by Sanjay, who is nothing but a psychopath and chronic alcoholics. And not only that, he was supposed to be produced on the day that he made sex with the dead body. But after everything being done, she was being gang raped and murdered, she just sexual intercourse with the dead body. So just on behalf of necrophilia, he was diagnosed as psychopath, chronic alcoholics and necrophilia. I don't know why the CBI are taking place and just concentrating on the same way as the police, Calcutta police, and led by Mr. Vineet Goyal and the others. There's DC Central and DC North. Everybody are trying to produce, including the Phantom Post report and half-hearted Post report, which has done not maintaining the actual norm. So the actually lot of problems are then not only the security, but totally there is sexual den, and that's bribing. The question of bribing, I asked the parents yesterday night also. They denying that thousands of offers were coming from the police and DC North, and initially followed by our CM also casually took the matter, and she just told that she can demand any sort of money for her commemoration of her deceased daughter. That is the main thing. But as you know, the Dr. Sandeep Sharma. Dr. Sandeep Sharma is the main culprit who was engaged in multiple, not only the financial but multiple elements are there. they have been proved, and along with Obik De and Birukakko and other 51 internees from different medical colleges of West Bengal has been proved to be associated with some sort of corruption. So he was engaged in thousands of corruptions in different ways, starting from the supplying.
Yes, absolutely. You know, all those aspects brought to the fore, but I'm going to particularly focus on this and this particular revelation that had been made in the past as well, when the way the crime was committed. And Abhishek Banerjee, if you could discuss this, you know, in the start itself, the fact that the girl was first killed and then raped in that order is what led to shockwaves being sent across the country amongst people who actually, you know, heard about this news and watched this on their television screens and read about it in the newspapers. How do we, at this point in time, should we close down the hospital right now? What should be the action that the CBI must take, as there is this revelations that are being made in terms of the probe that is now moving forward, as you know, a month and 10 days have passed?
Yeah, so, you know, at first I should clarify that I'm not a doctor, but speaking as just a common person, I would like to make 2 points. Assuming these reports are true, of course, I mean, obviously this is shocking beyond words. My first thing is that I have a certain worry. Now that these details are coming out, I'm actually worried that the lawyers of this person will try to argue in court that this individual is mentally disturbed and should be spared the death penalty. And I believe that at this point, the prosecution should prepare a very strong case so that they can ensure that this person does receive the death penalty. Because if these things are true, I really do foresee lawyers trying to, you know, try to save him by saying that, you know, he has some kind of mental disorder. That is point number 1. And the second point is that, I mean, if these reports are true, I mean, what was the administration of Arjikar Hospital doing? I mean, this kind of, you know, basically subhuman activity is going on in your, I don't know, wherever your mortuary is, usually in the basement. And what is the administration doing? What is the, and this is happening in the heart of Kolkata. This is one of the most prestigious, it is in fact, Nilratan Sarkar and Arjikar are the 2 most prestigious medical colleges in Kolkata. This is happening in, you know, in one of the most hallowed places in all of West Bengal. And the administration, they had no idea. I'm supposed to believe this because, I mean, you know, the entire administration, whatever is the managerial staff and all of them, they should all be fired immediately. Because if this kind of basically subhuman activity was going on under your nose and you did not know about it, and we are also hearing massive charges of corruption. So what were these people doing? They had no clue what was going on inside their own hospital at least, or they were complicit in it in some way or the other. I mean, they should all be they should all be fired at this moment. So these are my 2 priorities. One is fire the management, and second is prepare a watertight case so that this guy cannot escape by claiming mental, some kind of mental disorder.
Dr. Asmit Maiti, how do you view this comment that has been made by Abhishek Banerjee, and rightfully so? That's what I'm saying, shut down the hospital. What exactly is happening in the name of running a medical college and a hospital?
You are asking me?
Dr. Asim Maiti.
Please repeat me.
Yeah, the question being asked, you are part of the Arjikar Hospital team. I want to understand what you know, what exactly has been going on. You have cases of necrophilia. You have these individuals, criminals who are entering into your morgues and you know, committing these sexually perverse activities with the corpses, and then you have cover-ups that are happening. You are destroying evidence. You are destroying the you know, seminar hall where the rape and the murder actually took place. Then there are bribe cases that are emerging. Then we are getting to know that there were money laundering cases against the principal, who has now been removed from his position. I mean, if so entangled is the web around which this murder and rape has happened, would it not be right for the authorities to shut down the hospital and actually inquire and probe every single one of the people who are part of the management to understand what exactly went on?
Actually, ma'am, as you know, the Sandeep Ghosh, the ex-principal of Arjikar Medical College, is full of corruptions and that was some series of sexual dens also are there. Some according to some reports, actually we are not aware of these hidden facts that some necrophilia or some sexual perverted persons are entitled to go inside the morgue. There are 46 rooms are there in the morgue with 4 to 8 degrees centigrade preservation of the body and everything, and we don't know, just we are not concentrating about the morgue and all. Actually, on the day of incidents, day after the incidents, police was trying to prove that Sanjay Rai has been suffering from he's a psychopath, he's a chronic alcoholic, so he made sexual intercourse with the dead body only necrophilia to minimize his punishment. And after that, the CBI went for the went for that. Actually, why we don't know why the CBI is concentrating on Sanjay Rai after a month of time. Just as you know, in the last hearing, there's nothing else and nothing evidence has been given from the CBI regarding this rape followed by the murder. They only concentrating with the help of ED, Enforcement Directorate, about the mandatory scam and the scam around the
Yes. Okay.
throughout the West Bengal.
Yes.
Throughout
Okay.
the West Bengal.
Okay.
All the health departments, all are corrupted.
Okay.
All are corrupted. So we have complained.
Dr. Sneha Sharma, you know, we had carried out this campaign about how there should be, by the right authorities, research wings, by the health ministry, that should mandate that there needs to be a sexual offender study that needs to be conducted in our country, and through which there will be a positive change that would be witnessed to ensure that potential sexual crimes can be minimized, can be curtailed. How do you view this study could happen, and how much of a positive impact it will make in reducing sexual crimes in our country?
No, this study, if carried out in the context of the crimes that are happening, if carried out properly, would definitely reap a lot of scientific evidence, a lot of scientific data that can be used to understand the psychology behind what goes on in minds of individuals like this. We do have these sort of studies that have happened in the 1960s and 70s in America, in the UK, where they did study these sort of perverted, unnatural behaviors around, and especially around crime, and that definitely offered a large amount of evidence and also support to the forensic psychology to understand what was going on. And if this sort of a study is carried out in the cultural context of India, where things are different, and we have that sort of a database, it would definitely be really helpful in coming up with preventive strategies where we can work towards identifying the individuals at an early stage. We can work at reforming them at an early stage. We can also look at what goes on in early childhood or adolescent or early adulthood in these cases, where we could work in intervening and early identifying of these sort of unnatural behaviors.
Okay.
So definitely it'll be a great idea.
Dr. Harish Shetty, what do you have to say? Can there be contributions made by researchers, by health experts, by mental health experts, by psychiatrists and psychologists to build upon the database, to have a study that is going to be concrete to catch hold of these sexual offenders, to understand their psyche and thereby reduce sexual crimes in our country?
I concur with Dr. Sneha Sharma completely, and there should be a study, and that will really help us in some ways to minimize, at the same time to reflect upon why it happens so that this can be prevented. But at the same time, we should not lose the sight of the big picture, where a state has been going down completely in terms of various parameters, and we should not allow the administration to escape without being held accountable. And that, if it happens both together, then it has an impact. So you attack the governance, you assess the governance, you also do a study which you described, and Dr. Sneha Sharma beautifully explained that it has happened in the 60s and the 70s in Western countries. So I think it is worth it, and we should do it. What will happen now is, after some time, the shelf life of every issue is short. everybody will forget. Remember this guy in Orissa who was caught with 200 crores? Do you remember her? You don't remember him. We don't know what happened to him. He's gone. Then that IAS officer in Pune, she's gone missing. Nobody will remember her for some time, and you will lose interest even in this case. So in case if you really carry this out consistently, persistently, pervasively, and then it will really make an impact. That's a great contribution of NewsX if you actually do it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.